All right, folks, welcome back to another episode of It'll Rot Your Brain by Charted Adventuring's Dump Stat. Last time we were here was almost a month ago, which is...
It's been a while.
It has. It's been just as long as it's taken for the government to decide to start paying all of us again. Thanks, Mitch and Donald, you assholes.
All of them.
All of them. Yeah, I'm kind of mad at Schumer and them too. I've been watching politics a lot more than I ever thought I would. I'm just glad that none of our movies on the It'll Rot Your Brain list are, political dramas, because that would make me super angry.
Right.
Speaking of political dramas, speaking of political dramas, The Post. If you haven't seen that movie, The Post is a good movie.
I have seen The Post. I saw it in the theaters actually. It was.
What's
that was the one with Glenn Close, right?
I believe so. Yeah,
yeah.
and Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I saw it in the. I did. I saw it in the theater. It was very, very well done. They did a great job. There's been a lot of good newspaper
dramas. I think
dramas.
we saw that movie together.
It's quite possible. I mean, my list of people to see movies with here is very short, so it's either you or Kat or me by myself alone.
I have no problem seeing
in
a
the
movie by
theater
myself.
wearing a trench coat. No, it's not that kind of movie.
Listen, Pee-wee.
I mean, Lego Movie 2, maybe. We'll see.
Chris Pratt does have a sexy voice.
He does.
Crisp rat?
Crisp Pratt.
Crisp rat.
Pratt.
Crisp Pratt.
Crisp rat.
Crisp Pratt.
Like when you deep fry them.
Right, yeah.
All right. So
It's all about the skin.
last time we were here, a month ago, we watched Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood, 1992 movie, his first directorial debut that won him 2 different Oscars. His first Oscar and his second Oscar, I guess, would be the Morgan Freeman, Gene Hackman, pretty good movie.
Yeah.
You thought so? I thought it was one of the best westerns that I've ever seen. So we have 19 more movies.
19. 18, right?
19.
19.
We've watched one of the list.
Unforgiven was the first one that we put on the D20 list.
Got it.
That is
all
true.
Right.
So we have 19 left. If you happen to roll the same number again right now, we're gonna let you. It'll be a dealer's choice.
I dig it.
If you roll a 9, we will let you pick any of the movies.
We will just invert it. We'll go to a 6 and watch Top Gun.
Okay. Or I think that it would only be fair if you had a movie that you thought we should see.
I will have to put thought and consideration to that. I do not have one.
So it'll probably be
know.
one of the ones off the list here.
Probably.
All right. You ready for the moment of truth? You ready for your roll?
I am.
All right. Roll that big, beautiful D20.
1.
Number 1. 1986 is Aliens with Sigourney Weaver, Michael Biehn, Paul Reiser, Lance Henriksen, and Bill Paxton, amongst others.
This is Aliens? Is the
This
second
is
one?
Aliens. This is Ripley has survived the encounter on the Nostromo.
Yes.
And is being taken to LV-486,
Of course.
where a terraforming colony has lost contact, and she is going in with the Space Marines to try to find any survivors.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think one of the Aliens movies, is one that I have actually seen. I don't know if it's Alien or Aliens.
Was there a bunch of guns, or
Probably.
Yeah.
No, I think I saw the first one, the with the Weaver and
how many
and the mech
aliens
or whatever.
were there?
Oh, I don't know.
If there was one,
What about a xenomorph? Is a xenomorph an alien?
that is
or
an alien.
Is it the alien?
Yeah, they refer to them as xenomorphs or bugs.
Okay. I thought, who's the queen xenomorph?
The Queen is from the second movie. Have you seen it?
I don't know.
All right, folks.
That's why we're here.
From 1986. Hopefully it'll refresh his memory, and
Yes.
maybe he's seen it, maybe he hasn't.
Don't
We're
hold your
about
breath.
to show Mark Aliens with
Excellent.
Sigourney Weaver. Stay tuned.
See you then.
All right, we're back. We have shown the 1986 film Aliens.
I hate Burke.
Everybody hates Burke. Paul Reiser, who was in the early 90s sitcom Wings? No, Mad About You. Plays a bad guy.
Shocking.
Not really a bad guy. He's more of a corporate chill kind of dude. Like,
I mean, that's what he played here, but he was also just literally one
no,
of
I'm
us.
talking about this movie.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you play in Mad About You?
I don't. It was about him and who was the girl that was in it?
I don't know. Google it,
They
Mark.
were
Alexa.
a couple. It was
Google
a
it, Mark.
romantic
Oh,
comedy
Alexa.
sitcom.
Who were the stars in
It was
Mad
terrible.
About You?
I do have an Alexa. It's still in the box.
It's unfortunate. It's a useful tool.
It's been there since last Black Friday. I bought it for Black
You
Friday.
should use it.
Still haven't taken it out of the box.
It's like 5-minute setup, if that.
Yeah, but I don't know.
You bought it for a reason.
Anyway, what do you think of the movie? Is it the one that you saw out of the now seven Alien movies?
Something like that, yeah.
If you
I
include
don't
Covenant?
think it's the one I saw.
Okay.
I liked it. It
Okay.
was good.
All right.
Yeah.
There was. I probably would have left the kid at some point. We were
That's
trying to
because,
make
that's
comments.
because you're a horrible human being.
No, it's because yes, but I wanted to continue being a horrible human being. I would have. I would have kept her the whole time until she fell down and went down a nice, very convenient slide.
It was slide the duck.
Speaking
Yes.
of the kid, Carrie Henn, the girl that played me,
Yes.
that was the only other movie that she has ever been in is a movie that's still in production called Triborn.
Wait, so she
So yeah, like Aliens was her
Yes.
one and only movie until like
recently.
last year. She's been in
Interesting.
cast in another movie called Triborn. It's in production. I looked her up on IMDb. I honestly don't know if the movie's still in production.
I mean, she got second billing in that movie. It was Sigourney Weaver and her.
Yeah. So it's this is a James Cameron movie. The same guy that's now trying to make 18
Avatar.
Avatar movies.
Hey, all the more
I
power to him.
hope he doesn't make any more.
Why?
I didn't like Avatar.
I liked
I thought
Avatar.
it was terrible.
I'm a simple man. Kevin, did you like?
We know.
It was Avatar was enjoyable, but
See.
it was generic.
Yes, I agree with that.
All right.
It was
Okay.
enjoyable.
Once. I'll give it once. I saw it once in the theater, and I was like,
It
okay, I've seen that.
It was one of those movies like it was. I think it was set up to test the Blu-ray 3D,
Sure. I agree
filming
with that
for
too.
the new movies and all that. So it's one of those like if you saw it in 3D in the theaters,
If I
oh
saw
my
it.
god, it's so great.
With an L, if I saw it.
Assault.
And everyone's like, it was like I was actually there. And then one of my other friends was like, no, there were two guys sitting in front of you with bushes, just smacking you in the face.
I did see it in 3D. I was unimpressed.
I mean, I guess Kevin and I are simple men. We
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the movie. I
did.
personally don't like 3D movies.
I don't either. If I'm going to see a movie in a theater, I don't watch it in 3D. It's usually not worth it. Oh, that's right, new Grand Tour today.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
It's
But yeah.
exciting. I saw it.
Aliens went a completely different route than the first movie. First movie was a very suspenseful, jump scare-esque horror movie.
Okay.
There were a couple jump scares in this one. I did see you jump a couple times. 'Cause you weren't.
Once.
I think it was twice.
It might have been twice, but I think it was just the once.
But they decided to go a different route after the first movie. The idea of the Space Marines in this 1986 movie was the basis for basically every Space Marine that came after that.
Yeah.
Sergeant Johnson is clearly based
Apone,
off of
Vasquez, everything from Halo.
Yeah, that's what I'm
comes
saying,
from-
Sergeant Johnson. Yeah, with a cigar and everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So every Space Marine movie
Yeah.
from
I can see
1986 onward owes a debt of gratitude to James Cameron. And
Was this James Cameron? I mean, Alien obviously came before, but what was his first big movie?
Cameron's?
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
I know he did Titanic as well.
He did Terminator. He did Titanic.
Did he really? I didn't realize the Terminator was a Cameron film.
Oh yeah, James Cameron. Terminator. Terminator 2.
What about Kindergarten Cop?
What about
I
Kindergarten?
don't know. It's just fun to say.
Yeah, Avatar, Titanic, Aliens,
Grand Tours today.
True Lies.
Love True Lies.
He has one coming out, Alita Battle Angel, which is based on
Yeah.
a Japanese anime. It's a live-action film. The first commercials for it, Alita had extra huge anime eyes, and everybody hated it, so they had to go back in and re-CGI the CGI eyes and make them slightly smaller.
Sure.
They're still big,
Yeah.
unnatural-looking eyes, but they're not like half her head anime eyes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, he's been a part of. Cameron's been a part of all of the Terminator movies, Titanic. In fact, he was the guy that he went down and rediscovered the actual
Yes, he did. I
Titanic.
knew that, yeah.
That was a whole documentary series, or
Oh, wow.
like a 2-hour documentary.
Yeah,
It was
submarine, the whole thing, yeah.
And I mean, I'm watching a submarine. You know, he's in the sub, and then you see it come up. It scared the crap out of me because I have a phobia, but
What's
it
your
was worth
phobia?
watching. I'm not telling you.
I love his phobia.
I'm not
I
telling
love
you.
listening to him experience his phobia.
It's crazy. Yeah. Thanks, Dad,
Is
for
it-
showing me Jaws when I was like 8.
Is it
Appreciate that.
ships?
No.
No.
It's
Yeah, he's afraid of
underwater,
ships.
All
right.
spelunking.
So here's it's called thalassophobia.
Okay. It's a real thing, apparently.
It's a real phobia.
All
Well,
right.
I mean, any that you could make it anything with a phobia at the end of it.
Sure.
But this is the specifically the phobia of being in water
Okay.
with something larger than myself. So the footage of the giant great white shark that they were tracking that they found again off the coast of Hawaii.
Yeah, just recently,
that the
right?
divers were diving with.
Yeah.
I watched that video and my asshole puckered the
Yeah.
entire time. I'm like, you couldn't get me in a boat on the water next to that thing.
Yeah.
I'd die.
You know what
Heart
was really
attack.
funny?
What's that?
When we used to still play Ark Survival Evolved, I
Okay.
finally got him into the water on our server.
I hate
And
you for saying that.
listening to him on the party chat, oh my god, oh, I was laughing my tits off. It was hilarious. Hilarious, especially when the shark that I tamed for him had a buddy that was also tamed, swam right up, and like the nose of it would jump into his camera.
I literally turned my view from open ocean, turned my view looking straight into the barrel of this megalodon shark. Yeah.
Hilarious.
That sounds great.
Oh my god.
I am much better than I was back in the day when I was like, teens,
Sure. Interesting.
before that. I'm much better with a lot of it, but every once in a while, if
Something
my
sparks
head
it.
gets into that space,
Yeah.
I seriously start freaking out and need to get out of the water. I mean, I just went back home to Hawaii for a week, and I was at the beach pretty much every day. and
Sure.
Didn't even think about
Good.
it. We were out on a booze cruise, and we were out past the reef and looking out at Waikiki, out in the water, and jumping into the water and tooling around. Didn't worry about it at all.
Good.
But every once in a while,
Yeah, something can spark it.
or my brain starts going, hey, what about sharks? You go, fuck. But anyway, so
Aliens.
Yeah, aliens. The first introduction of the Alien Queen was in that movie.
Interesting. Okay.
That was something they had to go back to the drawing board several times. If you watch the behind the scenes, one of their first mock-ups of the Alien Queen was basically a stepladder with a bunch of garbage bags and some broom handles representing the arms, trying to figure out how to get this thing moving the right way. It was a very big challenge for Cameron and the rest of the crew.
How did they see? Was it CGI? Or how,
This is '86.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
CGI
How did
wasn't
they
a
get the
thing.
aliens to move like that? Because it
was
real.
it was a combination of guys in rubber suits.
Well, okay.
And
Yes.
there was some model work, some puppeteering going
Sure.
on. So, but yeah, no computer graphics. Everything was either layered film, like at the end when they're on the platform and there's fire behind them. Now you can kind of see there's
Sure.
a difference between the background and the foreground.
Yeah.
So stage and like blue screen type of stuff. I guess it was green, well, probably blue screen at the time.
Yeah, no, it'd still be blue screen probably.
But I mean, this is after Tron, so CGI is slowly
Sure.
becoming a thing. And James Cameron, of course, is big into CGI.
Yes.
Maybe not as much as Peter Jackson and making Wetaworks and all that, but
Yeah.
he's getting there. In fact, if he goes through with making the next 4 or 5 Avatar movies, you're going to see.
Yes.
I
I need to
think-
see the next one first. Is that like in production? Is it done?
The
Post production?
The new sequel?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know if it's in.
Yeah.
I think he's still trying to work on finding a director for it and everything else.
Yeah,
I
the
think
whole
he's
thing.
producing.
Okay.
But I mean, if he does come through with it, I do. One of the good things that's going to come out of it, even if it's going to be
Not
it's just
great.
going to be a money sink.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to throw their cash at it. It's not going to be very good. But I think the CGI part is probably
Sure.
going to start stepping things up.
I can see that.
In the same way when Jackson did the Lord of the Rings trilogy, CGI just,
Yeah.
it
needed
took
to.
a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the Aliens franchise is great. H.R. Geiger, who is the brainchild between how the xenomorphs look and the melding of the mechanics with the organic materials, and like when you first see the tunnels,
Yeah.
the alien tunnels,
Right. Yeah.
like that whole look is an artist named H.R. Geiger. He is all about like crazy body
I can see
horror
that.
type stuff like that, and dude was a genius. You're never gonna see an alien creature that's as scary as something that
Right.
Geiger's come up
Okay.
with. So.
Besides the first two movies, which I know are pretty much universally beloved, you said there's like 7 or 8. Are any of the others good?
I actually like a bunch of them for very different reasons. Alien 3
Was that still by Cameron?
Alien 3 was no, it was a different director.
Interesting.
And it bombed terribly in the theaters. Although I do think that it has one of the better plots of the Alien films. If you take the franchise as a whole, I mean the first two are epic, but the third one it goes back to the small confined area. She ends up on a prison planet.
Is it Weaver
and
again?
It's Weaver again. Weaver's been in all of them except for
She needs to get her life together, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
What are you talking about?
I'm saying, like, stop getting in those situations.
Oh, you're talking about Ripley.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ripley needs to stop getting in those situations.
I didn't like that they killed off Newt and Hicks.
Well, don't give it away.
That happens at the beginning of the movie.
She got
still hasn't seen
implanted.
it.
She got implanted, didn't she?
I'm not giving anything
She
away.
got
You
it.
need to
I
watch
knew
three.
it. And then
It's not like spoilers. Like the movie's been out for how many decades?
Right, but this is all spoilers for him.
It
That's the
is.
whole point of this. That's the whole point of It'll Rot Your Brain is we're showing him stuff that he hasn't
Well,
seen
no, I'm
without.
just gonna look it up.
But,
Did she get implanted?
Sure, Wikipedia that shit. I'm not telling you.
I do
Kevin?
like Alien Resurrection though, just because Ron Perlman's in it.
Ron Perlman, Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
Well,
Resurrection was
I
good.
love.
where do
It was
where
a good terrible action movie.
Where does Predator come in?
Where
Is
does
that
Predator?
a different series that they interlocked?
Yeah.
So the Predator and the Alien franchises did not come together until Dark Horse Comics like turned them into like they got the right. So Dark Horse Comics, which is now I believe it's now owned by DC along with Vertigo and several other, but it's their Dark Horse Comics is like their darker. Kind of like how Marvel has Marvel Max and Marvel Knights. It's their more R-rated stuff. So they got the rights to Alien, they got the rights to Predator, they got the rights to RoboCop, and they got the rights to The Thing. And they used to put out a comic called Dark Horse Presents that was a bunch of every single comic had short stories.
Okay.
And it had an Alien short story, a Predator short story, and then they started doing Alien vs. Predator, and there's novels out, but the comics are really what started bringing those two franchises together as like, oh, the Predators hunt the aliens, and they've expanded on that a lot. They've done 2 terrible movies that were based loosely on one of the novel storylines, and they failed it completely.
My favorite Predator storyline was actually a video game. It was for I believe it was for the original Xbox.
The first person one?
It wasn't first, but no, it was an over-the-shoulder, I believe. And it was the story was you were this great predator, and it was 1950s, what have you. Well, the mob was still big and all that, and you're going around, and some weird shit happens. You get screwed up. They change some details, so like when they go and detonate like their bomb, it doesn't blow them up; it blows up their ship.
Interesting.
Okay.
So, like something happens and he kind of screws up on the hunt and he tries to get out and he goes to detonate it, blows the shit up, he survives, and the rest of his clan comes down and is like, you done fucked up, son. So they pick him up and give him one of the sharp pointy weapons and drop him off on an alien infested planet. And like, here's your punishment. You get the sharp stick to spray all the blood acid around as you try to kill these things to survive.
Interesting.
And like a century goes by and like some of your ship was still discovered by like human society, and technology starts to ramp up and the mob controls it and all that, and the guy you're supposed to kill is still alive because of these technological advances. And
it definitely starts sounding like a video game after you said like a century passed. So.
Yeah, I forget the.
So that was your favorite Predator storyline
because that was all in the beginning.
We don't need the full review of the game. This is about aliens.
You have to go around and redeem yourself because hey, you screwed up. This is your mess. They started killing our people. Get out there and fix it. And it was better than Predator 2. That was a good story.
Hey, Predator 2 was great. Predator 2 was a great movie.
What's Predator?
When Predator 2 first came out, it was a great movie because people finally got to see the other weapons that the Predator had.
Yeah.
Because in the first movie, you see the invisibility, you see the shoulder cannon, and you see the blade. Okay. In the second movie, he's got the net, he's got the little homing batarang thing that he's got. That was cool. And you had, wasn't Nick Nolte in that? He was the CIA guy. He ended up getting cut in half or something.
He might have been, but
just like the poor cyborg guy.
Danny Glover was in it though.
Danny Glover he was the protagonist in it. He was the guy that got caught in the middle. But anyway, so you enjoyed Aliens?
I did.
When we have 18 movies left.
18 to go.
18 to go. 18 in life. So yeah, and I'm glad that this was the Alien movie you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I am too. It was good. It was enjoyable.
All right. Well, then I guess for Dumpstat, this has been It'll Rot Your Brain with Mark and Kevin, and we will see you next time.
Have a good night.
You want thingamabob?